Hello again. It's just me. Been wanting and aiming to do that VR for a very long time that I'd done, and I just like to say, hope everybody's having a good late evening and after, or good early evening, late afternoon. I'm a smoking out of my Missouri Meerschaum Ozark hardwood, and in it I'm smoking cherry ambrosia. I love that tobacco. Howdy, thank you for tuning in. I like to say I ain't got the other thing set up right now to where I can read comments, but if you would leave something down in the bucket below, I'd get back to it and respond as quick as I can. I'm drinking me some coffee out of the best mug in the world. Anyways, um, as the title says, question about my tin of tobacco and other things. Well, anyways, I have done a video, a yabo, prior, a good many videos back about new tobacco that I've gotten from Peterson. And I can't remember if I was watching Mr. Derek Tant or another feller that had made a suggestion about this on letting people choose the next tobacco that you would try. And I thought it was something really cool for the community and everything if y'all would like to participate. Um, what I'd like to do is I'm going to show you these tins of tobacco that I have, and to be honest with you, I don't know which one to try first. And so I figured I would ask the entire YTPC and anyone that may view this video, um, if you know anything or got any information about the tobacco that I'm going to show you, I would love to learn and be informed about it. And if you've tried it before, give me your opinions and your thoughts, as well as put in the bucket below which tin of tobacco, you would like to see me open up, give a first impression of, as well as smoke and maybe do a bit of a review. Now, I don't think I'm good at doing the reviews of tobacco, but I do my best. I ain't got to complain yet, but I'm always open to constructive criticism. Excuse me for a second while I relight. Alright, the first tin of tobacco I'm going to show is Peterson of Dublin Sunset Breeze. Now, the second tobacco that I'm going to show you, I've got great expectations and high hopes for this blended tobacco. And I'm hoping that it will meet the expectations of what I've read and seen other reviews about it. And that is Peterson of Dublin's Nutty Cut. And the third one too, I kind of got a little high hopes about. Because I read in the description below it has hints of chocolate, and well, I'm a chocoholic, and that is Peterson of Dublin Sweet Killarney. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would in the bucket below, like I said, put down the name of the blend that you think that I should open up and try next, And what I'm also going to do on top of that is I'm going to take a notes on a list of people that voted on which blender tobacco, and I'm going to do it in order from the one I get the most votes for, then the one I get the second most votes for, and then the one that had the least most votes. That's what I'm going to do. So, members of the YTPC, as well as even lurkers, if you like, I welcome you to join in on this too. And I just like to see what other people's thoughts and opinions would be, and those that are more experienced and educated in the world of pipe smoking and this beautiful hobby of ours. And it'd be a learning experience for me. Help me out along my pipe journey if y'all would and feel like taking the time to do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, and other things, I received a little bit of some news a few days ago from a friend down in Kentucky. He's a fellow member of the YTPC, and I found out he had had a few some health issues that put him down at work, and I don't know if anybody out here has checked out the channel called Games and Ammo, but that guy had told me, messaged me on Messenger on that there Facebook, that he I asked him how he was doing, and he said, "Well, okay," but then again, he said, "I'm hoping I can go back to work soon." And I asked him, I said, "Well, why?" I said, "What's going on, buddy?" Well, then, the guy told me, he said, "Well," he said, "I was standing at the door," because he's one of those loss prevention feathers that stand at the door at the Walmart, and he said, "Well, I'm standing there doing my job as usual," and he said, "All of a sudden," he said, "I got these chest pains in my chest really bad," and he said, "It started making both of my arms hurt really bad." He said, "I could barely breathe," and he said, "I collapsed there at the door," and he said, "They called an ambulance and rushed me to the ER immediately," and he said, "And they hooked me up to all these machines and everything," and he said, "The puzzling thing that I don't understand is," he said, "and this scares me a little bit," he said, "is that they couldn't find what's wrong with me." And I said, "Well, are you going to consult a doctor, a family physician, anything?" He goes, "Definitely." And I said, "Well, buddy," I said, "do you mind if I do a video, a prayer request for you on YouTube?" And he said, "Buddy, I don't mind at all." And I said, "Well, is there anything that you do or don't want me to say?" And he said, "Buddy, just do whatever you feel that's on your heart to say." And so that's what I'm doing. And so, everybody, if you would please, maybe even drop by his channel, even give him a sub. If you ain't already subscribed, give him some good wishes on his videos somewhere and everything, because he's a good guy. He got a good heart. He has a good wife. He's a good family man, and he's very strong, opinionated about the gun control and everything. He's a gun activist, and as well as a gamer, and he's a fellow piper, and he's always an informative, intelligent fella. And I just like him to know that people care and people are thinking about him in his troubled times. And I'd much greatly appreciate it if you all would. And also, I got another friend, and she's been having this trouble with her knee really bad. And I mean, I've seen where one part of it swelled up to an ugly, horrible knot and everything. She's been having some trouble and a few health troubles, and if y'all could just keep her in your prayer too. And then one of my dear sweet friends, she got her sister that's going through cancer, and she's worried about her sister, and she's a sweet, sweet little old lady. Well, I shouldn't say little old lady. That's probably a little insulting. Don't mean no disrespect by that, by no means. But she's just as sweet as can be. She has a heart of gold, and she's a good friend of mine. She's even been there for me during some of the times when I felt like crying. Hey, Pipe Cat, what's happening? Just tuning in now. Okay, well, thank you, buddy. By the way, I just got done loading my VR for your GAW. Hey, what's happening, buddy? Always glad to see folks. Papa, say hi. Sometimes I catch your comments real quick popping up. I can read them on the screen here. I ain't got my other thing loaded up so I can, look off screen. Oh, thank you, buddy. I ain't got a VR. I ain't linked it to your video yet. I've been wanting to do a few of these videos and everything, and I don't know if it's completely loaded up or not, but it should be the newest live stream on my channel aside from this one. So I guess it would be the first one, second, or yeah, however that works out. But well, pipe went out. That's okay. Take your time, my friend. We got a lot of time still. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate that. But anyways, this dear little sweet friend of mine, she had told me something that her sister had told her. And I think I've expressed this before in one of my other videos, but she had told me something her sister had said to her, and it was so inspiring to see somebody's faith, in God, and it really spoke out to me because her sister, I guess, had a elaborate, beautiful head of hair, and I guess her sister had just completely shaven it about as bare as my forehead, and when she seen her sister, she kind of started to cry, and she said, "You shaved it all off," and she said her sister said, "Well, I was losing it anyways," and she said, "If I'm gonna lose it, might as well lose it on my terms." And she said, "Well, are you going to be all right?" She goes, "Yep, I'm going to be absolutely all right," because she said that I'm going, if I can remember, or I wouldn't say quote me unquote, but to the best of my memory, she had told me that her sister said, "Yep, I'm absolutely all right." She said also that her and God had a long talk, and she said that she knows that she's going to get it back, and God's going to give her her hair back, her beautiful hair back, and that she was going to make it through it, one way or the other, whether in this life or the next. And she said that she knew that God was going to bless her and get her through this, and that her and God had a long talk, and she up and told me that she started to cry because her sister was so strong and so brave going through all that cancer treatment, and to say that and to have that much faith. She said, "I broke down in tears and said, 'Thank you, my Lord.'" And I sat there and I was, reading what she had messaged to me, and I said to myself, that is it's almost like a William Shakespeare play to a certain degree. It's a bit of a bitter, sad tragedy, but at the same time, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment because I've seen a few people go through that stuff, and it's not a pretty thing. And for somebody to just say that and have that much faith and be that bold, it's not only is it a beautiful thing, but it's a lesson to everyone else, to not give up faith. Even when you want to give up faith, don't give up faith, because the Lord walks with you. And also the Lord works in mysterious ways. And knowing that the Lord's time is not our time. And I just found it to be beautiful. But if everybody could keep my dear sweet friend, sister in your prayers, as well as my dear sweet friend. And dear sweet friend, she has a bit of health problems herself too, but she's a good person. She's a good family woman. She takes care of her grandkids whenever her daughter goes to work and son-in-law goes to work and everything. And even her daughter and son-in-law too, they had a few troubles themselves, you know, and I think they're starting to get back up on again on their feet. They suffered from a house fire, and and everything, and they found a beautiful apartment, from what my dear sweet friend told me, and we'll just keep their family in your prayers too, if you would. I'll tell you what, I think Ma had a. I've been trying to do a few Ma and me videos, but nothing's working out. But that's okay though, because whenever me and Ma get, or whenever Ma's feeling around to it and everything, when we make a video together, we make it worth its while. But Mom had a busy day today. She had to get up early today, and she had a doctor's appointment, and then I think my sister and both my sisters took her out for a little grocery shopping, and apparently while I was still sleeping, because I got to go to work tonight. But apparently while I was sleeping, they tried to get a hold of me on Messenger and tried to let me know to get up and unlock the door and help them pack in stuff, and I guess I was out of it. And next thing I know, I hear the door bust open a little bit, and I open my eyes and look up, and there's my sister with this look on her face, and she goes, and I thought she was going to yell at me for a second. Instead, she goes, "Good morning," and I go, "Good morning," and anyways, she brought in some stuff and groceries, and by the time I got up, I said, "Well, is there anything else needs packed in?" They're like, "Nope, we got it all now." And then Ma pops in, and she has this little old bag of Burger King stuff, and she goes, "I brought you something to eat." She goes, "I don't feel like cooking." So that's okay, Ma. That's mighty fine. And she got some Whoppers and or a couple of Whoppers and some sausage biscuit stuff, and I think I'll take mine to work with me for lunch. But now she's taking a good old nap and everything. She had a busy day. She got this thing called a Roku. I never heard of this stuff, but it's a Roku. It works off your Wi-Fi system, and I think it's better than getting cable or satellite. Of course, I never liked satellite anyways, but I think it's better than them. The only thing I don't like that that I about it that I like is I like watching that there BBC America, because they have one of my favorite shows on there, and that's Doctor Who. I don't know if this current season they got going, if it's going to be the last complete season they're going to make after reviving it after so many years, but I hope they don't stop. There's so many storylines and things that they could do, and I would love to see another another episode where they have all these doctors coming back, in the same episode. It'd be really cool, I at first I like Matt Smith. I think he will out of the newer series. I think he's my favoriteest doctor, and I didn't quite really care at first for Peter Capaldi's or Capaldi's. I'm sure how you pronounce his name. I didn't like his character of the Doctor at first, but then it just kind of grows on you, and and then I kind of grew to like his character because there were I feel like he took that character to a whole nother level. Really truly showed you how dark the Doctor can be, the real dark side of like the Doctor. Like it's like he should kind of show. It's like how everybody in life, kind of like everybody can have a good heart. Everybody can have a cheery go lucky, personality and everything. But then everybody can be mad, angry, bitter. And then everybody has an evil side to them. Whether we want to admit it or not, it's part of us because we're all human. And I liked that side that he showed because it had a great deal of surrealism in it. And then I also like the part where they kind of showed him to be a bit of a, 1960s, 1970s, 80s rocker. There towards the end of that series or that season I meant, and and I seen the very last episode of that season, and I'm not seeing none of the new at all, and I hate to admit this, but I kind of really didn't like the idea of them making the Doctor a woman, but at the same time, going with the lore of the whole series, about how the Time Lords were not just oriented to just one sex, gender, that anytime they regenerate, they could still stay a man or they could become a woman. I mean, they kind of prepped you for that, anyways, and like a few other different or different episodes, in that season, anyways, so I knew that they was eventually, got the hint that they was hinting towards that, you know, but I just didn't want to see it. But at the same time, I like the idea of how they want to throw you a curveball, and give you a whole nother different perspective of how it would be if you were a Time Lord. And I like that. That's the aspect I like. Other than that, I can't really give much of an opinion about it otherwise because I've not seen none of the newer series and I want to. And everything. But I was trying to type that in on that Roku thing that Mall has, and I couldn't find it. Then I'm like, well, maybe I got to see if I can find like a BBC thing, and then hopefully it don't cost nothing. Because if it does cost something, I might find out how much it costs and just give Mom the money and put it on there so I can watch it. Well, then again, with my luck, they wouldn't have Doctor Who on there. That'd be my luck. But if you ain't never seen Doctor Who or anything, I recommend it. It's a good television series. If you like time travel, sci-fi stuff, sometimes goofy, sometimes serious stuff. And I've also noticed along the way there too, they kind of had, there's some true historical facts that's within that show too. Once in a while, I thought it's really cool. I can't remember the name of the actor that was before Matt Smith, but I remember the episode where they showed an older Doctor Who before Gallifrey got blown up, and and then you had Matt Smith's character and the guy before him, and they're in that world, and like every whip stitch they're whipping out their sonic screwdrivers, and the older one he's like it's a screwdriver, it's not a weapon or a gun. And everything, and they're just kind of looking at each other, and I just think it's kind of funny. I like little nutty stuff like that. I always have. Seems like anything that people consider to be normal when it comes to certain things, to me, it's depressing, boring, or let down. And not only that, I like random giddy stuff. Of course, if you watch anything on my channel, you'll see that it kind of has its highs, its lows, its mainstreams, and then some things just leave you wondering what's going to come out of his mouth next. I ain't done a video with my cousin in a while. Anytime we do something together, we're going to call it the fam talk, and that's going to be a solid thing for us. every time we do one, I told him, I said, I want to make it a series, you know, something that later on I can put into its own playlist. Oh, so what's the time here? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm pretty much had a good mouthful and everything, and I'd just like to say thank you, Pipe Cat, for tuning in, and also, like I said, if folks could put down in the bucket below which tobacco that you think I should open up next, and like I said, how I'm gonna go down the roll, and look forward to seeing those comments. And thank you all, and wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed, and thank you. Thank you to all the fans. Thank you for subbing. For everybody that is a lurker, I'd like to invite you to sub if you would. And also, if you're thinking of becoming a YTPC presenter or even just a regular YouTube presenter, because I sub to channels that are not always YTPC, you know, but I like to see different presenters and everything, and just like to give you a bit of encouragement on that. Well, folks, until next time, wherever you're at in this world, may you be blessed. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life to check out me. I appreciate it. Till next time.